Just the way I open it usually is like this.
Okay, all right. Wow. It's quite barbaric. Wow. This is Wine King's Wine 101. Class in English. I will teach you about wine from the scratch. I'm the Wine King with 3 master's degrees in wine.
Hi, my name is Michael. I'm from California, and I've been in Korea for the last 6 years.
You're a beginner in wine, right?
I don't know even the ABCs of wine very much.
Okay. And Hanu?
Hello.
Native Korean.
Yeah.
He learned English from 2 months ago. He drinks wine, but he doesn't know well about wine. We are going to learn how to appreciate, how to taste white wine today. Château de Cuiseaux, Grand Vin de Bordeaux. What does it mean, Grand Vin de Bordeaux?
From a large vineyard in the Bordeaux region.
Great wine from Bordeaux.
Great wine from Bordeaux.
Yeah.
So it kind of ranks the wine a little bit? Or?
No, it means nothing.
It means nothing. It's marketing.
Yeah, it's marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then Pessac Léognan.
Pessac Léognan is the person's...
No, it's the area's name.
Area's name, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Pessac Léognan from Bordeaux.
Yeah, the vineyard is located in Pessac Léognan.
Pessac Léognan.
Yeah, and 2018.
2018. Entrée.
What is 2018?
The vintage of the wine.
What does vintage mean?
When it was bottled.
No, when it was harvested.
Harvested.
Yeah, when the grapes were harvested.
Okay.
The last one?
Entrée Le Temps Viticulture.
Yep.
And this is the owner of the vineyard.
Yeah. That was actually pretty good. And you know how to open wine bottle?
I've opened it many different ways, but I don't know if I know the correct way. One time in college, we used a shoe
Oh.
because we didn't have the wine opener, and the result was not good. Just the way I open it usually is like this.
Okay. All right. Wow.
You
It's
waited
quite
to-
barbaric. I've never seen somebody open in that way. Wow. We are learning about wine from the scratch. You have a paper cup here. It's to spit your wine out.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so it's a spittoon.
Yes, so we don't all get drunk too fast.
If you don't want to spit out, then you don't need to. But usually wine professionals, we don't swallow wine. The right hand side, you have a glass. The first thing that you should do is checking the smell from the wine glass. And then I just pour a little bit of wine in the glass. It's clean. Okay, so I serve you. You use your, how do you say, perceptive organs from the top to the bottom.
Okay,
So eyes, nose, and the mouth.
got it.
So you check the color first, and then you smell the
Okay.
wine, and then you taste the wine.
I have an opinion actually.
Yeah.
I think the first perceptive organ we use is actually the ear, right? The
That
sound
is
of the
true.
wine hitting the...
That is true. Oh, you are such a romantist.
And last is the finger. Yes.
Let's check the color first. Hanu, how is the color?
A little yellow.
Yellow.
Yeah, a little yellow. Green.
So you see yellow color and green color together, right, Michael?
A lot of yellow, and there's definitely some green. And I see the green more on the edges. It seems very consistent, the paleness.
The yellow color is pretty deep. There may be several different reasons, like having enough skin contact. In that case, you can see this kind of deep yellow color. Otherwise, the grape variety itself, it may show deep yellow color like this
Okay.
from the skin of the grape.
I see.
Otherwise, it can be sweet white wine, or it may have been aged in oak barrel.
If a white wine is sweet because it has higher sugar content, is that also a factor?
Yeah.
The color.
Yeah.
And if it's from an oak, is it because the wood of the oak imparts a certain color onto the wine during the
Exactly.
process?
It gives a little bit of tannin, and the tannin shows always
Yellow.
a deeper color.
Deeper.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you see, the vintage of this wine is 2018. It's been already 5 years. And that can be one of the reasons.
The aging of the...
Yeah.
Do wines tend to become deeper in color the longer they age?
In white wine's case. In red wine's case, it's the opposite.
Oh, interesting.
It gets paler.
I heard that even if the harvesting was done in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
The bottling can be done later, not necessarily that year.
Mm-hmm.
Does the bottling then also have an effect on the color of the...
The bottling itself, it doesn't affect the color, but the aging, it affects the color. And usually, if the wine gets aged in stainless steel tank, the color doesn't change that much.
Okay,
It changes very slowly.
okay.
But if the wine gets aged in oak barrel, it shows a deeper color very quickly.
Okay,
Not always,
yeah,
but mostly.
mostly. Very difficult.
Then let's smell it. What do you smell? Oh no?
Lemon and grape.
Fresh grape or concentrated grape? Dried grape?
Concentrated grape.
Are you drinking your wine through your nostril?
Through my nostrils. Both nostrils, straight up.
And how is the smell? How is the nose?
It smells sour. I drink through my nose.
Mhm.
The sweeter the scent gets near the end, I think. Maybe near the back of my throat, it tastes sweet a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And
So you are actually drinking the wine through your
smelling
nostril.
so hard that the moisture comes into my nose, into my throat. Like a vacuum cleaner. It smells citrusy a little bit,
Uh-huh.
but I think to me it smells like green grapes.
Green grapes. Okay.
Like
Meaning white grapes.
white grapes, but you know the jelly, the gummies when you eat your child?
Uh-huh.
I kind of smell that a little bit. So maybe that's the concentrated, kind of more sugary smell.
Don't think you said the right thing.
But I also smell like when it smells sour at 1st, it smelled like vomit a little bit.
Vomit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not in a bad way, but like the way that it, I don't know.
Like a baby vomit?
Like baby vomit maybe, or
Okay.
something kind of mild.
You know what baby vomit is?
No.
애기 토.
Oh.
Actually, there was a serious fault in your explanation because you said it smelled sour.
Yes.
But actually, the sourness, you cannot smell it. It's a taste. It's all from your memory.
Yes.
If you smell this kind of a style of wine, just reminds you of some sour
Thing that I've
food.
eaten,
Yeah.
so associating it.
Yeah, exactly. The sourness, it's taste. Oh, there is one more thing that I have to tell you. Don't smell it too often.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, your nose get used to the smell very quickly, and then you cannot smell anything.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit, and then put the glass away, and then think about the smell. Every single person's experience is different, so there is no perfect answer. In my case, it smells like white flower, not dried flowers, but fresh flowers. I think I know why you mentioned the concentrated grapes, because it's very complex
Yeah.
and the nose is very powerful. So the power, I think it got related to the concentration, and it's pretty oaky.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of vanilla, but not excessive. Just the correct amount of vanilla. It's citrusy, but it's not the kind of citrus from the lemon peel or orange peel. For me, it's from the juice.
The juice.
Yeah. Let's taste. Did you brush your teeth before coming here?
In the morning.
In the morning. Okay, that is good.
Yes.
Yeah, because after brushing teeth, usually you have to taste wine multiple times.
It's been 7 hours.
Right.
So it's
That's
really-
fantastic. And Honu?
2 hours ago.
Oh, 2 days ago. 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Then you have to taste the wine multiple times. Otherwise, it tastes too acidic, too harsh. So how does it taste like?
상큼하다.
상큼하다. Fresh.
Fresh.
Is there any bitterness here?
No, I don't think.
You don't think it's bitter?
Yeah.
How about the acidity?
I think it's very high.
And how about the body, the fullness on your palate?
Medium.
Medium
Not,
body,
not too heavy, not too
not too heavy, not too light.
Light, just medium.
That's a very, very good way of answering. If you don't know about wine, you can just say it's a medium something, medium body, medium acidity, medium finish.
Playing it safe.
Yeah, it's very, very safe. Just memorize the important terms like acidity, body, finish, or aroma. So it shows a medium aroma, medium acidity, medium body, and with a medium finish.
Right.
It's a mediocre wine. What What do you think about the palate of this wine?
I agree with all the medium stuff. There was some acidity there for sure. It wasn't too heavy or too light. But it did stick with the palate a little bit afterward, I think. I thought there was a little bit of bitterness. It did feel very fresh. Just the word freshness came to mind, I think.
Okay. How was the finish?
What is the finish?
Finish, the aftertaste.
After the wave of wine had left my mouth and gone back into that cup, the time it took to decrease in sourness and acidity, I think, was not so fast.
In this case, you can say medium long finish.
Medium long finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or medium finish.
It's very safe again.
Yeah. Do you like the wine?
Not like this one.
I really enjoyed it. It makes me think of like a grassy hill, maybe in Switzerland somewhere, with the white flowers. And like grapes and lemons are rolling down the hill together, kind of imagery that I had.
Alright. It shows very, very high acidity. But it doesn't show that high acidity in this bottle, only because it went through skin contact, meaning it got tannin from the skin. And it makes the wine fuller and heavier. So it presses the acidity down. And this wine got aged in oak barrel. If white wine gets aged in oak barrel, it feels like it has lower acidity. So the acidity in this bottle, it must be pretty high if you measure the acidity. But it doesn't feel this strong because of the fuller body.
So the tannin comes from the oak,
Yeah.
and the contact with the wine and the oak gave it more tannin, which gave it a fuller body.
The tannin comes from the oak, and the tannin also comes from the skin contact, meaning the juice spends some time contacting with the skin of the grapes, which doesn't happen often in white wine's case.
Okay. Okay.
We'll talk about how to make white wine later.
Okay, great. Awesome.
I see multiple question marks on
Yeah.
your head. And it shows oiliness.
Oiliness.
Yeah.
You can taste that, or you can see that.
I can feel the texture, that oily texture from this wine. And it's a full-bodied wine. The finish is pretty long. And as you said, it tastes quite bitter. Not the harsh bitterness, but nicely soft bitterness. This is not a cheap white wine.
It tastes expensive.
That's very important because when you drink wine, you have to always think about price quality. 4, 5만 원.
Okay.
Or 25 or 30 US dollars.
But this is the wholesale price?
No, it's a retail price, but a discounted retail price.
I have a lot of questions. What is tannin?
It's really from the scratch. It's really wine 101 class.
캘리포니아 촌놈. 101.
If you really want to learn about wine, I run a wine class for YouTube members. You can join the membership. I do live streaming classes once or twice a month in both English and Korean, which I use pretty much equally. I let you know what wine to prepare in advance and we taste the bottle together. During the tasting, I try to communicate with you as much as I can with the chat. Since it's a paid class, please sign up if you are serious about wine. But once you sign up, you learn so much about wine.